Okay, this is a how-to video on how to juggle 3 balls. What we're going to do is we're going to break it up into a small series of steps which will help lead you to juggling 3 balls. There are 3 important things in juggling 3 balls. First, you have to know how to throw a ball. Second, you have to know how to catch a ball. Third is you have to see a pattern. So what we're trying to do is we're going to try and do a 3-ball cascade, which looks like this. If we look at this in slow motion, then you should notice that all of the balls seem to be coming from the centre, from roughly where my navel is. And that's why it's called a cascade. A cascade in French means fountain. So it looks like a fountain coming from the centre. So the first thing you have to do when you go to learn how to juggle is get good balls. They don't have to be expensive. You can probably find these down in your local $2 shop. But when you buy balls, they must have an appropriate weight. So these weigh about 100 grams each. So that is the lightest object that you should be trying to juggle, is about 100 grams. So somewhere in the 100 to 200 gram range is fine. So say about 4 to 8 ounces for our American friends. Next thing, when you're juggling at the moment, because we're starting, we want to be standing up, loose position, feet about a shoulder width apart, head up. Hands are going to be down by the waist. We do not want to juggle up here, that is bad. So we want to be juggling down here. It should be like you're holding it onto a tray. So if you're carrying drinks in. And we're going to start with 1 ball. An important thing when juggling, most people forget to teach, is how to throw a ball. If you can't throw a ball, that makes it almost impossible to catch it. So when you're throwing the ball, we toss the ball from the centre of the palm. So we hold it and we pop the ball up. We're going to pop it up to about eyebrow height. So we're going to pop. So we do not throw the ball off the fingertips. So if we throw the ball off the fingertips, especially if you look in slow motion, you'll see how the ball spins. This is bad. This means it's either going to go over your shoulder or straight forward. So when we do it, we'll throw the ball up in the air. It should stay in the same orientation and land back in there. So we pop the ball. So when I throw the ball, the hand pops open like that. If I do this right, the ball will not spin much. So when I pop the hand, I throw it from the palm. It comes from the palm. If we slow that down, hopefully it will be more apparent. Then what we want is we want the ball coming from the centre of the palm, travels up. We call this the pop. So the hand goes pop, pop. And what we want is a ball heavy enough so when it lands there, it goes and closes the hand. When I pop, the hand actually does that type of motion. So it goes up, about eyebrow height, and back down. So if I have another one on the other hand, eyebrow height. You'll notice that the ball does not spin in the air. That's really important. It makes it easier to catch. So now we have 1 in each hand and we take times. 1, 1, 1. Make sure if you can that you throw them exactly the same height. That was bad. So about eyebrow height. Make sure they're not spinning. So that's step 1. It's actually popping the ball up, throwing the ball up. The next important step is actually doing a pass. If you noticed earlier in the 3-ball cascade, the ball we're travelling from hand to hand, and the ball actually travels a figure-8 path. So what I'm going to do now, so I'm going to throw the ball in my right hand, the one on your left side, in the air to that hand. And as it comes across, I look at the top of the flight. So as it's coming across, I look at the highest point it travels. And as it starts to come down just to there, I will throw the next ball. So it comes up here and I'll throw it. So I throw across. Again, right. Oops, a little high on the right there. So it should be the same height. Like that. So let's do it in slow motion. The right and the left. So they should be at the same height. So the right, left. My right, my left. And then I do it left, right. Again, about eyebrow height if you can. Hands should be down by the waist, because don't have to chase after the ball. The ball will come to you. Gravity will help the ball come down. So my left to right. Then your first juggling trick. I go right, left, left, right. Right, left, left, right. Right, left, left, right. Left, right. If at this point you notice that when you're juggling, one of the balls is shooting forward or coming backwards, or you're juggling up here, if you're juggling up here, it means you're probably throwing them off your fingertips. If you're coming up here, you're probably spinning the ball like that off the fingertips. If that's happening, go back to this. So we go right, left, left, right. If we do that, that's actually called a 3-ball vamp, and that is or 2-ball vamp. And that is actually a juggling trick in its own right. So now comes the hard part. Adding the 3rd ball. So what we're going to do is we're going to have 2 balls in one hand. Because I'm right-handed, I will have 2 in my right hand. You'll notice how I am holding one ball on the fingertips and the other ball in the palm with these 2 fingers. That means I can throw the ball 1, 2. So just try that, 1, 2. You should be able to throw one ball, then the other. So you throw the one from the fingertips first, then the palm. And again, you do not want that one spinning. You want it to fly across. When you're doing this, you'll notice side on, the ball does not go forward or back, it's going sideways. So let's grab 2 balls in our right hand, assuming your right hand, 1 ball in the other hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw the ball in the right hand to my left hand from the centre. It's going to come across, and as it hits the top, I will then throw the ball in the left hand. And as that one comes across and gets to the highest point, I'll throw the 3rd ball. 1, 2, 3. Try and make sure they're all the same height. 1, 2, 3. At this stage, do not be worried if you drop them. At this stage, as long as you hit the ball with your hand, that is a good starting. And when you're learning the trick, there is an old saying, a touch is as good as a catch. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So if we do that in slow motion, we'll slow it down a bit, you'll go 1, 2, 3. You'll notice that the balls come out one at a time, and when it's coming across the top, the next ball will come out. So we're doing it in distinct motions. So hopefully by now you can do that 1, 2, 3. Now comes the hard bit. Most people find it psychologically difficult to get that 4th ball out. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I found the easiest way for me was to count it. Juggling gives you a good beat. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you count the beat, that helps immensely. So you train yourself, so every time you count one, you throw one. 1, 2, 3, 4. It means you get that last ball out. So now, hopefully your hands are down. The reason why we throw them at eyebrow height, just out of interest, is that at the eyebrow height you can see your hands in your peripheral vision. Height gives you time. The lower you come, the faster you have to juggle. The higher you come, the more time you have. But if you go too high, you can't see your hands. You have to chase up. So about eyebrow height when you're learning. So if you still have problems, if the ball is still shooting forward, which happens a lot, it's either because you're throwing too early with the left hand and you're throwing down here, or you're spinning the ball off the fingertips. So if you're having any of these problems, go back to 2 ball. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Once you've got that, pull out the 3rd. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Hopefully this has been of some use. There will be more videos to come.